Big story day today, oh. Una can hear the story for today, oh. Better story day today, oh. We go the shake place as usual, oh. Make sure say you no miss, oh. And as you did join, we make sure say you share them and invite other people. Make all man can hear the story for today, oh. The story for today is big. We don't prepare. Story today is big. All money place day. As soon as they join, we make sure say we share them and invite all other people them. Make all man they can join we. Alright? Yes. When I place day. All man it place day. And all man in cafe it day up. Una good afternoon, fellow Ambazonians. Una good evening for some of una. And una good morning for most of our people then for this side for North America. I be una brother Lucas Asu, when the press secretary for the executive office for Ambazonian Governing Council. Today, the story is big. Today, the matter, the plenty, and it be very important. Before we take gonna enter inside the important matter that we when I 1 year, make we start with the drama where it already start inside La République du Cameroon. As Cameroon they collapse, as the end times, it don't come from the occupation. As La République infighting there within La République du Cameroon government, not be not only infighting within the Cameroon government. The Cameroon government don't be splintered into factions. Yes, poor be a government, it don't be splintered into factions. They divide themselves. Now, not be not only they divide themselves, now we hear this story. Make a bring una two stories we don't come out inside the Cameroon government before we enter our discussion proper. First story, it come out inside the presidency of La République du Cameroon. This man, we wanna see a photo, now a personal bodyguard for Paul Biya. He dey for what they call and say presidential guard. Now part of the Cameroon B. Now part of the Cameroon military, where they specialize for the protection of the colonial beast, Mr. Paul Biya. This boy or this man, he named now in two fields. Mr. in two fields. Now a bodyguard for Paul Biya, he don't learn a lot of bad fashion from Paul Biya. He don't see a Paul Biya, they do very bad things them, even for your own picking them, and wait till they do them for other man picking them and all the ministers them. So Mr. in two fields, he don't carry the bad fashion we learn from Paul Biya, he carry and go inside his own family. When I watch or when I listen. Mr. in two fields, he don't come and work for be bodyguard for Paul Biya as a presidential guard, and a special unit of the Cameroon military for protect the president, the colonial dictator. This man in two fields, he don't finish work. He come out right for inside Yaoundé. He go for the family house. Mr. in two fields, he get woman. He get 4 picking them. 4. Mr. in two fields, he get fine woman with 4 picking them. For night, Mr. in two fields come out. He leave a woman on top bed. He go for the room for his own pikin. His own pikin with a 10 years old. 10 years old girl pikin. Mr. in two fields, All the bad things we don't see and Paul Biya they do them. All the bad things we don't see and they happen within the presidency of the Republic of Cameroon. Mr. Ntu feels a commode, he say one go practice and for a house. He enter for a girl picking a room where the picking then only 10 years. He start for sleep with his own girl picking 10 years old. Now the nature of the evil for Paul Biya this, but the nature of the evil for Cameroon this. These bully people them, not be the people they were supposed to even near them. Now the most evilish people them, now the most bad and wicked people them for this ground. How a man like this go get woman? You get young man, you get fine woman. For evening, the things you're supposed to go do with your own woman. You come out, abandon woman for bed. You go assault na your own small girl picking. We never fit for scream, for cry me oh mommy here. At the nature of Cameroon this. Are very wicked people. They be very satanic. Now very occultic people. Now the thing they don't destroy Cameroon. Next. Big one. Now in this. This one a big one. The second biggest fish for inside the Republic of Cameroon. Big one. Mr. Kavayege Jibril, the president of the Cameroon Colonial Parliament, the man we don't stay there forever. Now in that, wahala don't come. Thief man don't go thief another thief man. When I hear thief man, he go thief another thief man. Mr. Jibril, he don't go thief money from the colonial state. Go keep her outside. He go keep her inside house. Anyway, a first woman. When they talk say a first woman, that means say get plenty woman them. That means say get more than one. So when you hear say a first woman, for English, for Igbo language, it means say it directly means say that person get more than one woman. So Mr. Jibril, a first woman, he talks say since you be thief man and you don't train your woman them and you're picking them for big thief people them. Mr. Jibril, he go thief money from the Cameroon colonial state. He carry and go keep her for inside his own house. Then when first woman talks, he say, okay, Paul Biya they can't die. Maybe that job who you get him now as the speaker of the parliament, maybe you know get him again. So now when first woman too talks, okay, me too I must prepare myself because condition will change. Thief man, a thief man. Mr. Jibril, the first woman. He go check tin them. Because they keep small money everywhere. He be defined at the real big money. Now the woman go open some place. He see plenty money, bundle money. Hey! The woman, that full and the woman, he put dance. He dance. And then the woman laugh. He said, thief man go thief man. Thief man go thief man. You thief for the colonial state. Me too, I go thief you. Now the woman said, no, say, okay, the end time they can't reach. The time where Cameroon colonial officials do the party, it can't end. The woman say, he must laugh the last laugh. Now the woman carry all the money. 85 million cash. 85 million CFA. Mr. Jibril, the first woman, a thief from Mr. Jibril. A woman where this man don't marry them for God knows how long. He turn again, he can't thief his own money, because he knows that the end time can't reach. So as matter talk, from wetin media now they talk. Newe Oga, president of the Cameroon Colonial Parliament, he don't carry his own woman. He go lock am. He said the woman must bring the money. Newe the woman talk say, no, only me wanna thief the money. Oh. Plenty other people they do with the thief that money. So for inside Mr. Jibrili house girl, they don't carry and go lock am. House boy, they don't carry and go lock am. Gate man, they don't carry and go lock am. Cook, they don't carry and go lock am. The woman is sister, them where they stay with tea, they don't carry and go lock am. Mr. Jibrili own family member, them all, they don't sweep the entire house. They don't carry all plus he picking them all man, all man. Even the small picking them. They don't. It talks about they sweep all man. They must go lock them up until they vomit that 85 million. Thief man, it thief man. Now Cameroon that woman, it thief his own man, his money, because the man go thief the money somewhere. Now the woman talks okay, maybe poor bear they can't die. Money no they come again. Better make it thief your money. He leave this old man where he can't die. So that if he go live a life. So now the drama that 85 million CFA. He don't disappear from Mr. Jibrili house. Mr. Jibril is very angry. Mr. Jibril be very angry. He don't know place he go get another 85 million. Now the drama that we don't come out so for inside La République du Cameroon. For more stories them for La République du Cameroon, as their story they need finish, it don't come out now directly from the Minister of Defense. Yes, Mr. Betty Asomo, Joseph, as they talk, Joseph Betty Asomo, the Colonial Minister of Defense, his office, finally, as we talk, when woman be pregnant, you go only hide them for so long. Don't talk say La République they lost the war, they don't lost the war. La République they are soldier, they don't want fight. They don't run AMBAZONIAN, they run La République du Cameroon, they run the war. That means say that they move their uniform, Bonham, run, throw away gun, run. Today, news on come out. Say about 700 La République du Cameroon colonial forces. That means say colonial army, police, gendarme, B as they call them, all them, we call the military. About 700 of them. They don't run the war for AMBAZONIAN. About 700. The exact number now 636. We just round our up say about 700 of the Cameroon soldier them where they don't run the war for AMBAZONIAN. They not be say they just run the war for AMBAZONIAN and then they go back for La République say okay I don't want to go for AMBAZONIAN. That means say they don't run for be La République army. They don't run for be part of the B. They don't run for be part of the gendarme. They don't run. They say they don't want anything for do Cameroon. Pata, lie to lie, wala to lie. 636. They don't run. They not fit stand for fight AMBAZONIAN. Cameroon, their problem, they the only big grow every day. Now, from Mr. Jibril, we thief 85 million, and then he go keep him for your house, and then the woman to go thief that 85 million. Now, the matter of the colonial Minister of Defense, it come now publicly. Talk say, hey, una see we be talking we get army where they will fight for AMBAZONIAN. Now fight don't pass them. They not fit stand for fight. They not fit stand for fight the Amber boys. They not fit stand for fight AMBAZONIAN forces. 636. They don't run. Betty someone now talk say what he go do. So now Cameroon, He defined 636 soldiers them for catch up, for go love them. The question one asks and say, how you go manage catch person we don't run? Come out the country. Because most of them, as they run so, they don't come out the country. They don't go them for Nigeria, they don't go them for Ghana. Someone don't even cross, come for Canada, come for America, come for Europe. I personally know 2 of them, where they be, as they call themselves, Anglophones, where they crossed last year, just before Christmas. They call, when they reach for Europe, they call how they would manage to take axe for Doki. They call, they beg we. They say, brother, we give more information. I beg we need help. I be there with that people them. They send we more go kill one people them. I look and the matter pass me. I run. I take small money. And before they want run, they thief money. They thief money for carry and go find visa. Now the wahala that way come around the inside. Almost 700 forces, soldiers. They don't desert. They don't run for fight. We don't tell them. Ambazonian and Ambazonian. Cameroon will see something. They will pay a price for this war where Pobia don't declare them for we. They never see no nothing. Now, make I bring one the news. Make we enter inside the Ambazonian matter. We all now. Una the wait. Before we enter, we bring one the news of the story for today. Make we talk with the Vice President of Ambazonia Governing Council, Dr. Julius Nyi. He don't talk with the Ambazonian people today. Make we bring out the message directly from the Vice President of Ambazonia Governing Council the office. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Vice President talk am. Make we bring out the news. Oga Vice President. Oga Vice President for the Governing Council of Ambazonia. And before bring another one, make a give una a small background, because for some of una, now the first time this will some of una don't know who be Dr. Julius Nyi. Dr. Julius Nyi, now one of the most, if not the only Ambazonian, with an institution and an international institution development expert. Dr. Julius Nyi, now one of the only, if not the only, Ambazonian with an international institution development expert. Dr. Nyi, now a lecturer for 4 universities across the globe. Now a lecturer for University for China, now a lecturer for University for Singapore, now a lecturer for University for Malaysia, and a lecturer for University for Dublin, Ireland. Now a human resource expert. And so Ambazonia, they be very fortunate for get an institution, international institution development expert. Now person when I need help for shape organizations, shape institutions, so that they feel create them the way we go last. Now demand that. Now one of the big brains for our liberation struggle that. Dr. Julius Nyi, now I be also one of the key diplomat where they lead the negotiation for the Ambazonia Governing Council, and it work hand in hand with the Secretary of State for the Ambazonia Governing Council, State Department. And they demand that. So today, it don't send a message out to the Ambazonian people. Waiting Mr. Julius Nyi, he talk say AK-47 and bullets. Now the Ambazonian people, their own Oxford and Harvard for freedom that. It talks say for 1 week. It remained only 1 week. For January 28 for 2023, Ambazonians go do the Ambazonia Governing Council go do a special fundraising for raise money, for make Fako, make it start for hot again, for give Meme the power, for reactivate the fighting for Meme, and for give the forces for the Bamenda Brigade, the forces for Mezam, for give them the more bullets for them for take Bamenda and turn them into a hot zone again. Now it talks, they say, the camp will be in a General Ivory headquarter for Teke, for Kumba. It don't come back for be a very, one of, how they call them? The General Ivo, the camp with General Ivo be get them for Teke. The forces with General Ivo be leave them for back. Those forces, they don't come back strong. They don't start action against Cameroon military. As soon as year, they just take out 2 Cameroon military a few days ago. Now the leader, now Dr. Nyi, he talks, they say, for keep these forces and for improve on the one momentum for within the Atlantic states so that they will fit defend the independence, protect our people them, and for increase the cost of occupation on Cameroon, for send Cameroon, all Cameroon forces them back for which they call and say body bags. And so Mr. Nyi, he talks say all Ambazonians, they must take to this sense of duty for make sure say all we will mobilize, will commit money for this special fundraising, for give the Atlantic states special focus for Fako and Meme, for give them what they need them, for make sure say Cameroon, you understand say they inside Ambazonia. It also for the last 6 years, now the power of our AK them, now the power of our bullets them, now them they don't make La République du Cameroon, where they be things say they be Kuba Dokfa, where they be the high up, that's where they waka. They don't make them now, they don't turn a small arata. They don't make them turn small ants. Pobia, enough he talk again. Atangan Jipor, enough he talk again. Diongute, enough he talk again. The Cameroon beat them. They run now, the hide. As all we don't the year, up to about 700 of them, they don't run the war for Ambazonia. So now the vice president talks say, our fighters, they be ready and they be daring. Our civilian population, they be determined, and our prisoners, they be in strong spirit. All we will stand for Ambazonia. Now with the vice president talks say, it be unapologetically AGOFC, ADF. And he talks say, shake, day. All right. Now the message that will come up for the office of the vice president, Mr. Nyi. Pa, ya cafe day up. Now make we enter inside the story. The stakes they be very high. What did that mean? It means say right now things are hot. Things are hot, both on the ground, within La République, and for the international community. Things that are hot. As we already predict, 2023, now the year of Ambazonia promise. 2023 a year of promise for the Ambazonian people. Then. The question we want to ask them, say, you be ready for get a free homeland? Are you ready? If it happened today, you be ready? Now the question that we'll get for ask them. If it happened today, if that freedom come today, that independence come today, you be ready. Are you ready? You must be ready. You must be ready. The stakes will be very high. Get yourself ready. Get yourself ready. All man must prepare. Things will change at any time. The signals will be All man is here. Mr. Biavi die tomorrow. The military fit take over power for La Republique tomorrow. One faction within the Cameroon state, if it decide for 10 Cameroon upside down, because the Cameroon government now don't be divided into factions. When I be thinking say Ambazonia get infighting, the infighting will be inside La Republique du Cameroon. No man will ever see them for this world. You know if he hide them. Cameroon not fit sustain itself. But we must be ready. When I don't see what did happen on the ground the last 48 hours. 2 Cameroon elected officials. 1 be killed by Ambazonian forces. 1 that the population for Bamenda they capture it. They teach you a lesson and then send it to the gate of hell. The stakes they be high. We call on every Ambazonian for be ready. You must be ready for take your country back. You must make yourself ready. Say this 2023 are the year of promise. 2023 is a year of promise, na a year of deliverance for end Cameroon occupation. Now a year where we must get our freedom. I want to make you make up your mind. Say 2023 is the year this. You don't suffer for too long. You don't want to go 2024. So we must give everything we will get them as a people. We must commit everything we will get them. For make sure say 2023. The suffering of our people them, the pain of our people them, the pain for our picking them, the school where they don't miss them, it must end this year. While mommy will not go farm because it not be safe, it must end this year. While people them, where they say now estimate now about 700 and something thousand Ambazonians, they stay for bush, it must end this year. We all must put one hand together, put one head them together for end this liberation struggle this year. Deliver freedom to our people them and give our people them their sovereignty. That 2023 this. Claim them for be a year of promise. A year where your suffer will come to an end. But you must be ready. For be ready, you must make up your mind. For be ready, you must talk say that the year this. For be ready, you must accept and agree. Say I will give everything I get them. For deliver our people them. For free yourself. The freedom not be for some person. The freedom not for you. The freedom not for your future. The freedom not for your picking their future. The freedom not for your picking their safety. The freedom not for your picking their well-being. The freedom not for you. Not be for some other person. So you must take personal responsibility. You must take personal responsibility for that freedom. We don't come very far and we must push them to the logical conclusion. We don't come very close. We must go that one extra mile. We must go that one extra mile. So for every one way they listen, all we must contribute. Whether you get a 1,000 francs or a 5,000 francs. Whether you get a 10,000 francs or you get a 100,000. Whether you get a 1 million or a 10 million, all we must contribute. We must put all our heads them together. Put all our contributions them together. For give the forces what they need them. For go offensive on the enemy. We get 2 tests ahead of we. If we pass these 2 tests, we go achieve what we want them this year. But we must pass the 2 tests. 2 tests the day ahead of we. Number 1, all Ambazonians, 11 February, now a total lockdown on the territory. First, we na burn all grandstand them. Any Cameroon colonial grandstand, we know say na for day they will go do 11 February, Bonham. We na born all grandstand them now. Take that responsibility. All you need 1 liter of kerosene and small matches. You don't need a group. You don't need some person for giving instructions. Any place where you know say na for day they will go shit on, they try for make something say they still get presence on AMBAZONIAN. When I take them down. Secondly, all the forces, they must ensure, say for the block where you did it, for the block where you did it, forces from Manfe, they must make sure say 11 February not take place from Manfe. The forces for Kumba, they must make sure say 11 February it not take place for Kumba. Across the territory, take personal responsibility for do whatever it takes for make sure say 11 February. Now the first test that we must pass that test. We must stop this nonsense for our land. The world watch. Are you ready? If you be ready, then stop anything Cameroon. For let the world know say you be ready for take your country back. Now the first test that. Second test, with the world watch. Cameroon don't call for Senate elections. That election, according to Cameroon, include AMBAZONIAN. They don't care whether war they go on. They don't care whatever. They want to reimpose themselves on the territory. Now the second most important test is, we must pass this test. For pass this test, as the leader, Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba don't talk him, any person will enter our land for say one go carry out campaign or for go run for election, the AMBAZONIAN people must take that person out. Now the population, any man, woman, or group of persons, they enter quarter, they enter for community, say they want can campaign for Senate elections. That people that they come now for sell you back into slavery. If you make a mistake, you take money, whether on a 5,000 or on a 10,000 or on a carton salt or carton soap or on a back salt for liver, may they use you. You go pay price. This generation no go tolerate them. We must pass this second test. We na go after every single elecam official from AMBAZONIAN. Any person where want to impose a foreign rule back into our territory for climb on top the blood of 30,000 people who don't kill them. For them for come back from AMBAZONIAN, say the one can govern our people them. You want to live and make it happen? You want to live and make the more than 1,000 villages where the Republic don't burn them, make it go in vain? Not give them a chance. Not confuse the international community. Because now we confuse them. If you give La République du Cameroun a small chance for AMBAZONIAN, you don't send the wrong signal to the international community. You must send the right signal to the international community. Now go after every single Cameroon occupation elecam official from AMBAZONIAN where we want to put you back under slavery. AMBAZONIANs, they must take everybody out. Now the message that we want to send up to the international system. Say we don't want these people them, we don't want their election, and any person will come for our country, now a traitor. The world get a specific standard with the treat traitors. Not be like something we invent them. The way with the French they do them, the way with the Americans they do them. Today, the Ukrainians, they do not the same thing. So no money they invent any new law. Now natural, social, moral laws would invoke them and would use them. Now the tradition that there is a specific way where they treat traitors. Any man with one can thief your future and sell you into slavery, na a traitor, na a collaborator. collaborators of genocide, there is a specific way they treat them. Now the second test that we must pass that test. All Elekam offices from Ambazonia, they must go down. We must turn them into arches. All Elekam offices from Ambazonia, we must burn the building down and turn them into ashes. You must send the right signal to the international community. You must show the international community how determined, how committed you be to your freedom. Now the signals that way must send them. The wrong signal, it will delay 2023. The right signal, it will deliver away. Alright? Make a leave down for the all wanna know the two people don't already pay the price as Elekam officials. Now we don't hear say Mr. Pobia, this people any year road. We don't hear say they don't appoint new ones. Make we read them. What did they talk? 90s. The two the way they kill them, less than 24 hours after two Cameroon Elekam officials, they be taken out from Ambazonia, they don't appoint two new ones them. Mr. John Fay, who have been at the head of Elekam for Momo Division. Okay? Now in that now, it don't be replaced by Ade Hilda Siri. We need a picture of Madame Ade Hilda Siri. We need a picture. When I send we any person we know Madame Ade Hilda Siri, when I send we a picture, we go publish them all over Ambazonia so that any person we see, the population will know exactly what to do with those traitors. The second one, the way Mr. Gilbert Ufela, where they take it out, it don't be replaced by Lawrence Kunsa. Mr. Lawrence Kunsa, now I don't replace it. If the one carry their langatur come from Ambazonia, there is a price with them. Now, make we move forward with this discussion. The first part of the discussion has been about La République. The second part has been saying Ambazonia they must be ready. Now, number 3 part of this discussion today, it concerns the Ambazonia Defense Forces, the ADF. The ADF, now the pride of the Ambazonian people there for their liberation. The ADF, now a National Liberation Army, where they create them as a gift for defend one, for protect one, and for stand up for confront La République du Cameroun. Since the creation of the ADF, they don't be the most lethal, the most organized, the most structured, and the most respected force. We will get them as a people. General Ivomba, he take the ADF and he make them into a star. He give you pride because of the offensive nature of the force. All we were glad when internal enablers, internal spoilers, they succeed for kill Ivo, all we cry. And we see the impact, the vacuum where Ivo die, it cost him for the liberation. We see the impact. The entire Atlantic states, Manu fall, Meme fall. Manu fall back into the hands of La République. Meme fall into the hands of La République. Coupé fall into the hands of La République. Fako fall into the hands of La République. The internal spoilers, they sell those blocks back to Cameroon. When Ivo be there, Manu be there already, La République be already be defeated for Manu. Meme, La République be already be defeated. Fako, La République they run the height. They not be worker for, they not fit. Ghostam be very strong. Coupé be very strong. Indian be very strong. Libyan be very strong. They kill Ivo, Manu. They surrender Manu to CPDM. Surrender Meme to CPDM. Coupé, that one a dead zone. Cameroon do really take them 100%. Indian, they don't come back. The BLM, Cameroon don't be defeated for it. So Ivory die, it create a big vacuum. Fortunately, because of the structure of the organization, General Efang quickly take over for rebuild the confidence within that force. From 2020, we don't see ADF, it don't show with something different. 1st October 2020, we see a structure, a force. We envy them, we clap, we feel so proud. Then 2021 come. They can't give me these special forces, what they call them, say, Akamatsu. It changed Ambazonia diplomatically. The world start to see we very different. The world start to see we like the people will be very ready. Since the coming into existence of the Akamatsu, the last 2 years, while ADF as a whole, they do great work, but this special force, we Ambazonian, they don't give the greatest investment into that force. The biggest defense investment where Ambazonia don't make up now into the Akamatsu. Now the biggest one-time big money we will put them for do something big. The biggest action where they don't carry on now for capture General Elokobi house for Upper Banya and Bonham. While the force it don't focus now for go after capture territories and try and liberate those territories and then turn them into liberated territories. Their work, their primary work for go after the enemy, it don't be drastically reduced because the force, it don't be concentrated now for stabilize and protect liberated territories. The offensive nature of ADF, especially the Akamatsu forces, it don't be drastically reduced. The ADF must rise to the occasion and the expectation of the Ambazonian people. The ADF must rise for what they don't show we. They don't show with trucks. It make all we feel proud. Ambazonians, they need for see these trucks. Ambazonians, they need for see these special forces for action. ADF must rise for the role where the people don't give. ADF must rise with great powers, as they talk for Igbo language. With great powers come great responsibilities. General Efang must rise to the great responsibility for end this liberation struggle, for end Cameroon occupation. The ADF must rise. While people they count on the ADF. While people the one year say they woke up for morning. A Cameroon gendarme post, it don't be taken over by the ADF. ADF need to rise to the expectation of the people and to the call of the moment. This moment require a different focus of the force. We need to reprioritize the force. Instead of a protective force for protect liberated territories. Yes, it be very important. But the higher mission, that the offensive actions against strategic Cameroon occupation military post, when are only such a force if we carry out that kind of action. We get the capabilities, we get the training, we get the equipment, we get the manpower. Now it matter now for rise. The general need for live up to the expectation of the Ambazonian people. The commanders who they lead the various units of Akamatsus, the need for rise to meet up with the challenges of the moment, with the demand of the moment. The stakes will be very high. The world watch will need to go on the offensive on Cameroon for every place across the territory. And the ADF will play a pivotal role for inspire other forces. This moment, this message not be only for ADF. This message also goes to General Pity. This message also goes to the buffaloes of Bali, the forces of Seven Kata. This message is for all forces. At time this for go on the offensive. Cameroon be weak. They get infighting. Mr. Bia is old and tired. I want to make all we will make 2023 the year of promise in Ambazonia. We must demand more from ourselves. We must demand more from ourselves. We must demand more from ourselves. The world will watch we. All the signals, they be to our favor. The sun, it is shining for we. Ambazonia don't rise. While we call on our people, may they be ready. The forces until they must be ready. Because the moment will come at any time. We will be ready. I want to conclude by sending out a warning and an advice to all the forces on the ground, including the ADF. If you abuse the population, you lost the war. If you abuse the population, you will lose the war. The grassroots liberation struggle is where people don't suffer under the hands of La République du Cameroun. We understand the communities, they need to contribute. The contribution for a liberation struggle not been a force. That's something we do voluntarily. We don't always talk about other forces. They go for communities and go ask small villages, small communities for pay a lot of money for give them. And it make most of the time, the money they too plenty, more than what the community fee afford them. It make the community start for ask them if truly these forces not for them. Or these forces not just the one come for just can't force them using gun for take money from them. Money where they not get them. We don't hear which you don't come out for Upper Banyan. It's not a good news. It not be good news. It must stop. Excesses for ask the population make it pay plenty money during very difficult hardship. It will cost the population for turn against the forces. There is a way forces they fit do am for ask the population for money. When they go for village, when I call chiefs and community elders, say me they call village, so when I want to address the Ambazonian community, when I tell them who wanna be, wanna role, and why the community can be part of the resistance. When I tell them what you need them. When I tell the village, say when I beg, when I need their support for buy more materials for the liberation struggle. Therefore, impose millions on very small communities where most of their economic activity don't be taken away from them. When I will send those people, they go stay for bush and they will live on an empty village. And once they live on an empty village, when I become vulnerable to Cameroon military and Cameroon military intelligence. When I need to find a balance. The reason why the Ambazonian Governing Council, it always think ahead, because we know say times will come where forces, they know they get the kind of support where they need them on time. And they will turn on to the population. We be understand these things because we always think ahead of time. The Ambazonian Governing Council introduced liberation tax for take the burden from the population and put that burden on multinational companies. That's why the AGOFC it create liberation tax for give forces the ability for go get the money where they need them legally without force from foreign companies. All the forces where they exist for Manu. Foreign company, how many foreign companies are there for Manu? How many big business are there for Manu? That's why when I get a liberation tax. Go for foreign companies, make an assessment of the company, their activity, and then they pay una yearly liberation tax to una for use them for the war. So that una no go depend on what suffering communities. And then it will become a problem between una and the community. Why una want put ourselves for danger? And una make the population may not get sweetheart and good heart towards una. Una go collect liberation money from multinational companies. The forces of Kumba, all the big cocoa companies where they can buy cocoa for Kumba, the big where they can buy timber from Kumba, they can buy coffee, banana. All the multinational companies, they did for Kumba. Una go collect millions for what you need them for arm una self and liberate the land. The multinational companies, they're supposed to pay una the taxes we una need them for liberate the land. Now the intelligence of AGOFC this, so that when I know what they rely on our communities, and then it will become a problem when these communities do not get the money for gift now. We don't foresee these things. And so we design solutions for solve problem in advance. They call it leadership. See how many multinational companies are there for Bamenda. For every state for Ambazonia, multinational companies are there. Una go for multinational companies and una go collect liberation tax. So that any additional thing where the community give una, now an additional. But the bulk of the money, the big money, una collect for liberation tax. See, that's why the egg of C be egg of C. They think about all these things and we know what will happen and we know the consequences. Una no want them. Una follow sound advice. Una follow sound advice. While people don't suffer for too much, we no want any misunderstanding, or while people they get bad feelings about their own forces. When while people they see una, they supposed to be happy. Not be say when they see una and then they will run go for bush because una one can ask them for plenty money. It must end. It must end. Even for diaspora here. Would it take persuasion and education and understanding for bring our people together and explain ourselves? For appeal. When at the same time they do for here, would they appeal people then grad zero? Say make them contribute. Would they appeal? You need for learn for appeal. You need for learn for influence. You need for learn for explain. You need for get people that may buy into, see what you see them, and make them be part of their own so that they will want contribute with joy. Because you bring value for their lives. Because until they will, if they make that contribution, they will get them. And if they don't make it, they don't will get them. People they be willing for sacrifice, for give. Willingly, joyfully. If you help them for explain the outcome and why it matters to them. But the bulk of the money must go after multinational companies. 2023 in our year, a lot of good things that happen for we. We're for a very good place. The moon are no spoiler. Because of one or two small things. Because when those incidents they happen for one place, when person move audio, they don't make a like saying that's one small matter. That audio will go very far. And it's not fine. So, we respect ourselves, commanders. The way we will not carry ourselves and the way the population will carry on. The most important thing is to make the population really, really like una. If you make the population hate you, you'll be for very serious trouble because you will create blacklegs and spies. You don't want that. It'll be good for una, especially for una safety. Because it will make people to be enemies. And they will go take small money for La Republic and leak a lot of secret. Una no want them. Una no go down that route. Alright? For everything else, una remember, we must hold ourselves to higher standards. That's why they do this education. It be very important for our people then. The time to be very high right now. It be very high. Now begin to monitor what they go on. At any time, things will crack. And if we not be ready, then we're lost. And it will take a long time for catch up back. Because things will readjust. So when I get ourselves ready, a very good time, a very good space. January this, when I see what will happen. We get 2 tests ahead of we must pass that test. 11 February, we must crush them. And the Senate election, we must crush them. We not go wait until that time. We start now. As I don't already explain that for una. Una burn all grandstand them. All. Na burn them. Anything we know say that for day, any place and anything we know say they will use them for organize their fake 11 February, una bring them down. You no one make it take place at all. Una no wait until that day and then una woke up, how will money stop them? No, stop them before you even start. And the message that. Be proactive. Stop them before you start. Same with the Senate election. That's why the leader give una message in advance. 2 months in advance. Una go after all election officials. Una take them out of Ambazonia. Una send them into exile. And then all elected offices for Ambazonia, una bring them down into ashes. Cameroon must understand. You know, if you play with this generation, go free. My message this for una for today. I'll be una brother Lucas Asso, una the press secretary for the Ambazonia government office. Sorry, I'll be tiredness. I'll be una brother Lucas Asso, una the press secretary for Ambazonia Government Council, for the executive office of Ambazonia Government Council. Anyway, I work for night. I don't work about 12 hours, and now almost 1 o'clock for afternoon of my own time, and I never still sleep since I finish work for 7 o'clock of morning time. I can do this work on top of everything else. All right. So, we must sacrifice. We must sacrifice for homeland. We must sacrifice. We must sacrifice. Appeal for all man. We've got a very important fundraiser where they come up next week, Saturday, for January the 28th. And one of the most important fundraiser one do. They call on all our people them across the globe. And I want to thank Papa, we don't send $500. And I want to thank the brother for Ground Zero, we don't send 100,000 francs. And I want to thank a sister for France, we don't send your own contribution. I want to thank the people the way they don't listen for the appeal message. One focus on Meme and one focus on Fako. Actions, they need to come strong on these places. Will the Republic, they think say, don't start the regain control back for the, all right? So we'll get key strategic things that we will need for do and for this January, for move things them up, and for get the heat of the liberation back the way we expect them. So I appeal on all when I get my phone number, any place where you did for this work, please do something. Near liberation, near future. Be part of it. Even if you get only $10. If you buy a bullet, no matter what you get, no matter what you get, if you take it far, the place will day when the news happen. Now when I say when I start for contribute, but no wait until you hear the news because it come. It come. When I start, when I send, when I contribution. Talk say 2023 na the year of promise, and you go make it happen. Make you get into work. I'd wait for listen for your call. No matter place where you dey, tell me say PS I did for this place. We will tell you how you will send your money. If you send your money, please make sure say you get your receipt from the Ambazonia Government Council. We preach transparency. We practice transparency. We preach accountability. We live accountability. All right? Now we will be this. When we talk about trust, we show trust between we and our people then. So I look forward from our messages. I look forward from our call. Even if you get a question, always feel free to reach out to me. One of these days, I will do a program where when I go call in, I want to tell we our own state of understanding of the liberation so that we get interaction. If we get questions, if we answer them, when I need clarity, if we provide them, we'll just do a question and answer session. All right? So I can leave them for you for today. When I get a blessed Friday, when I get a good afternoon, some people they still wake up for morning time now. So when I get a good morning, when I get a good day, when I work fine for all our people then, may God bless you now. I look forward for the talk for una, and I look forward for the receive una contributions then. All right, una take care. May God bless all man.